Dear students, this is the first lecture related with atomic structure and quantum chemistry. In this lecture, first we will revise whatever things you have studied earlier in your BSc or undergraduate courses. Now see, the entire universe, initially it was considered that is made up of 5 things, Panchatattva, and these 5 things means 5 elements were there. It was assumed earlier, and these 5 elements are responsible, and then after that they forms the compounds like that. So Dalton's atomic theory, one can say this was the first scientific theory related with atomic structure. We know that before Dalton's, in ancient times, there was a scientist, or one can say a Rishi, Kanad Rishi, who proposed the concept of Anu and Parmanu. That is, the entire material, whatever is there, matter is composed of, it is made up of very tiny particles. In the same way, Dalton's atomic theory is there. Now we know that this Dalton's atomic theory is related with a very basic thing. Then there are so many limitations of Dalton's atomic theory, and after that J.J. Thomson, he discovered electron. Thomson discovered electron, and he proposed a new model that is known as Thomson model here. It is also known as watermelon model. I will not go into the detail of these things because just want to revise it in a brief. And then there was, one can say, Rutherford atomic theory is there, Rutherford model is there, in which it was assumed that atom is composed of 2 parts, nuclear and extranuclear part. Electrons are revolving around this nucleus in suppose different means one can say circular way. Now there was a Bohr's atomic theory. This Bohr's atomic theory, it gives some idea and planetary system there regarding the atomic structure again. In this Bohr's atomic theory, we have to consider the first quantum. It is a composed of quantum also. Now see, electrons are revolving around the nucleus in fixed definite orbit, but it should satisfy certain equation, that is angular momentum must be equal to the integer multiple of h upon 2 pi, like that. So this was the Bohr's atomic theory. We have to consider now regarding electrons. Electrons are revolving around the nucleus. Now consider that electron, very tiny particle, its mass is known to you, everything is known to you suppose. But what is its nature, its concept? What is the nature of electron? So there was 2 groups depending upon the properties of electron. One group of scientists, it assumed that electron is a material particle, it is a matter, it is a material particle. And another one, modern concept was there, electron is a wave. Now what is the difference between matter and wave here? See, matter possesses mass. Here we are having mass. A definite mass is there for, if you consider that a matter is there, it means that it should have a definite mass here. And its energy will vary. Matter is there, mass is constant, energy will vary here. And here, if you consider wave is nothing but it is an energy packet, energy bundle, that is quantum or photons. So wave means energy is here and it does not possess mass. It does not possess mass. So, one group of scientists assume that electron is a matter, it means that mass is there. Another one, it assumes that electron is a wave, it means that mass is not there, energy is constant. So, what is the exact nature then? So, this discussion, whatever is there, this dispute one can say, comes to an end when de Broglie, he assumes that he proposed a hypothesis here, de Broglie, that electron like tiny particles possess dual nature. They act as matter as well as they act as dual nature is there. De Broglie. Assuming that electron is a matter, it means that its energy is related with the mass by Einstein's equation. We are assuming that electron is a material particle. When it is a material particle, it means that it possesses mass. C is the velocity of light and energy is there. So, energy of this electron can be calculated by using Einstein's equation like this. Assuming that electron is a wave, when electron is a wave, it means that its energy can be given by this equation, E equal to h nu. Means we are having energy of electron, here also energy of the electron. Both these two represent energy of the same particle, that is electron. This energy is calculated assuming that electron is a material power. This energy of the same particle is calculated by assuming that electron is a wave. So, equating these two, it means the energy is same here. We can write here mc square equal to h nu. Mc square equal to h nu. And since here C, we have to replace it by V. So, we can write here mv square equal to h, and here is a mu, that is the lambda C upon lambda. One can write here in place of that, we can write mu equal to, we can write here mu equal to C upon lambda or V upon lambda. So, therefore, energy equal to, or this equation will be equal to m c square equal to h c upon lambda. These two will get cancelled here and we get a new equation m c equal to h upon lambda, or rearranging this, lambda equal to h upon m c, and c is replaced by v here. So, we get here mv. This will be de Broglie's equation. Now, what this equation indicates? Lambda equal to h upon mv. What this equation indicates here? This equation indicates that if the material nature of that particle m represent material nature. If material nature is more, wave nature will be less. And if material nature is less, wave nature will be more. Since electron is having very, very negligible mass, 0.00055 atomic mass unit is there, very, very negligible mass is there. This means that its wave nature is more, so it represents wave. So, then naturally, if electron is a wave, so there should be some mathematical expression that will express, that will give you the nature of electron perfectly. And that mathematical equation is given by Schrödinger, and that will be the first point of our lecture, suppose. Thank you. We will see it tomorrow.